Morgan DeShaw, Sitarz, 2012 women's lacrosse. From 2009 to 12, Morgan led the Gulls to a 57-23 overall record and a 37-1 record in conference play. 4 consecutive conference championships, along with 4 NCAA tournament appearances. 5 all-region honors, 3 all-conference first-team selections, 2012 Conference Offensive Player of the Year, and the 2010-11 Endicott Co-Female Athlete of the Year. Morgan's career numbers include 78 games played, 207 goals, 71 assists, 278 points. She still ranks inside the top 10 at Endicott in games played, goals per game, points per game, and so many others. Academically, Morgan earned CCC Academic All-Conference and Endicott Varsity Club honors in each of her 4 years. From 2009 to 12, the women's lacrosse program was in the midst of being one of the Endicott's most successful programs, on par with men's lacrosse and softball as far as consecutive conference championships and NCAA appearances around that time period. Morgan was front and center at the success of women's lacrosse because of her leadership and playing ability. Morgan was not only one of the best female lacrosse players at Endicott, but she's also one of the best all-around athletes that we've ever had. On any given game, whether in conference or out, she always stood out as one of the most highly skilled student athletes on the field. She was a consummate team player that made everyone around her not only a better lacrosse player, but better people. She made such a positive impact on all of us at Endicott that we begged her to come back to work in the athletic department for 2 more years while she completed her master's degree, and thankfully she did. Please congratulate Morgan DeShaw, Sitarz.
It's such an honor to stand here today as a Hall of Fame inductee at Endicott College alongside these fellow Gulls who I was lucky enough to watch play and share my time with here at Endicott. I'd like to congratulate each of them on their well-deserved induction into the Hall of Fame. During my time as a student athlete at Endicott, I had the privilege of listening to many deserving alumni before me get inducted into the Hall of Fame, and it is surreal to now be the one up at this podium today. My time here at Endicott was filled with so many positive memories, most all of them surrounding lacrosse and the time I got to spend with my teammates on and off the field. When I was thinking about what to say today, I just kept coming back to what made my experience so positive and what led me to this moment today, and that is all of the people that make up Endicott College. It's very apparent that it's the people that make Endicott the gift that it truly is. My first insight into the type of personal connection and sincere empathy that I came to learn was the way of life for Endicott staff members was through my interaction with the previous Endicott lacrosse coach, Kate Mullen. She cared so genuinely for me as a prospective student athlete, and though I never ended up actually playing for her, she still always rooted for me, and that continues to today. The start of my first semester was rough. I was totally out of my comfort zone, homesick, and to top it all off, we now had a new coach. During fall ball freshman year, I vividly remember nervously sitting in Coach Fitz's office in College Hall one night, having a required one-on-one meeting. She asked all about my family, asked me why I was so homesick, and she reassured me that she and the team would be here to support me and always have my back. Little did I know those words would hold true to this very day almost 10 years later. Coach Fitz was an amazing coach turned coworker turned friend. I couldn't have asked for a better role model and person to guide me through my years as a college student athlete and into post-grad life as a young professional. As soon as I was immersed in lacrosse, I truly started to love my time at Endicott, and that love only grew stronger every single year. Coach Fitz and the staff members here saw potential in me that I didn't know I had, and they put me in situations that pushed me far outside my comfort zone and really forced me to learn and grow. This was evident when I was chosen to make a speech at Accepted Students Day, the time I was selected to represent student athletes at a trustees dinner, to when I was chosen to be a grad assistant and assistant women's lacrosse coach, and today being inducted into the Hall of Fame. Endicott always saw something in me that I didn't see, and they always believed in me. Endicott has always, and continues to, surprise me, challenge me, and most importantly, support and encourage me to be the best version of myself. Being part of such a successful women's lacrosse team, there were many highlights during my 4 years that I could touch upon, but I've come to realize none of that would have been possible if it wasn't for the athletic department staff. Now working in athletics, I know firsthand the sacrifices they all make in order to support their student athletes the way that they do. They miss their own kids' games, putting their kids to bed multiple times a week, dinner with their families, birthday parties, gatherings with friends, and so much more in an effort to create the most exceptional experience for each and every student athlete. They set the bar high, and they have high expectations for all their student athletes, but they are always there to help them, develop, and support them. I hope today and every day they know just how much they are valued and appreciated, and I hope they know that they have left a lasting impact on me and many other student athletes. So thank you to Coach Fitz, who showed up for me as a scared and nervous freshman back in 2008 and has never stopped rooting for me since. Thank you to my teammates for 4 unforgettable years. Thank you to Brian Wiley and every single coach and administrator that helped me make my experience so rewarding and acted as a role model and mentor even after I graduated. I, of course, need to thank my parents for always supporting my athletic endeavors and allowing me the opportunity to come to Endicott. They never missed a home or away game. Even when we found out we were playing a first-round NCAA game in California on 4 days' notice, they were on the West Coast cheering us on. Thanks to my brother for always toughening me up, and my sister, who's always been my #1 supporter and was always down for a weekend visit to EC. Thanks to my husband, Colin, for always keeping me competitive and humble. And I'd like to shout out Sports Information, who put a poll out leading into our spring season, our senior year, pinning us against each other for which student athlete will have the most successful spring season. Colin, Sitarz, Morgan, DeShaw, and I'm pretty sure Sam Ozick was on that list too. And if there wasn't any way to get me going and make sure that I had the best senior year I could, it was to pin me up against my new boyfriend, Colin Sitarz. So I'm happy to say I beat him up to this podium today. Thank you to the Hall of Fame committee, and best of luck to all the student athletes.